Well, the most important thing to track in this quarter's numbers will be the annual guidance from Infi and HCL Tech. Remember, demand recovery expectations have been pushed back. The street is now looking and hoping that things recover at least in the second half of FY25, and then that Accenture guidance further sours the sentiment. So expect a cautious guidance from both Infi and HCL Tech. For Infi, the street is working with an FY25 constant currency revenue growth guidance of 3 to 5%, for HCL Tech 4 to 6%, but then there are some in the optimistic camp who believe the numbers could be on the higher side. So 2 to 6% is the broad range for Infosys. For HCL Tech, it's about 4 to 7%. But it's also the pace of recovery which will be monitored. Now, the key question is the risk of a disappointing or a low guidance at least partially priced into the stocks? Because the Nifty IT index is down 4.5% in the last 1 month, while the IT, the broad benchmark index, is up 1.5%. So there has been that underperformance. Names like Infi down 8% in the last 1 month. Wipro, for instance, is down 6%. HCL Tech is down 5.5%. Also, of late, we've seen a few brokerage upgrades on individual stocks. So CLSA upgraded a TCS and HCL Tech to an underperform. They upgraded a Tech Mahindra to a buy from an outperform. JP Morgan too upgraded select stocks. So Persistent became an overweight. They upgraded an LTI Mindtree and a KPIT Tech from an underweight to a neutral. JP Morgan went on to say the negative price action over the last 1 month appears to already bake in some weakness, keeping absolute downsides limited. Again, even though maybe the worst is over, the recovery, remember, will be gradual and back-ended. In fact, there are many who believe on the street that earnings may have bottomed out already in the December quarter, or it may bottom out in the March quarter, but the recovery is not going to be immediate. It's going to be a very slow-paced, gradual recovery. And on the whole, this year, in FY25, companies are likely to report a low to mid-single-digit kind of revenue growth. These are the forecasts for the full year, FY25. And as you can see, it's not going to be a good year. Low to mid-single digits is the revenue growth. Now, coming to Q4 numbers, right? The quarter which is upon us. Now, this quarter assumes less of an importance. It's backdated. The street is looking ahead. In terms of numbers, expect TCS to lead the charge here. 1.3% is the constant currency revenue growth forecast on a quarter-on-quarter basis. The reason why TCS's numbers look up: 1, because of the ramp-up of the BSNL deal, and 2, because if you remember in Q3, the management did talk about BFSI showing some signs of green shoots recovery on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But largely, it's a negative growth expected for Infi, Wipro, and an LTI Mindtree. So most of the large caps are going to have a subdued quarter, barring a TCS and an HCL Tech, according to the CNBC-TV18 poll. This quarter also assumes importance from a CEO change. Remember, Wipro has already announced that Thierry Delaporte, the current CEO, will be stepping down before his term comes to an end. They've announced the appointment of Srinivas Pallia. So is there going to be a change in strategy under the new CEO? And Tech Mahindra, where the CEO change was already announced, Mohit Joshi has come on board. But what he did say is that the turnaround strategy will be revealed in April. So if the street is betting on Tech Mahindra's turnaround plans, this is the quarter you need to focus on. For Infi in particular, one word: watch for the possibility of buyback. The last one ended in February of 2023, so they're eligible to announce a buyback. But in a nutshell, Q4 weak quarter, no substantial improvement compared to the December quarter, but less important. Watch for the FY25 guidance by Infi and HCL Tech and the pace of recovery on revenues and margins. And this finally is the valuation play. And on an average, Citi is saying the NSE IT is trading at 25 times forward multiple versus a pre-pandemic 5-year average of 18 times.